and delegates from home and abroad. My name is Mamta Sivakoti, one of the program officers of the Kathmandu Dialogue, and it is my pleasure to be your host for today's program. On behalf of the organizing committee and Kathmandu School of Law, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone present. We appreciate you taking time off your demanding schedules to join us today. Honorable guests, delegates, today we assemble here to welcome back one of our favorite platforms, the Kathmandu Dialogue. We shall witness the opening of the second edition of the Kathmandu Dialogue, an international summer school organized by Kathmandu School of Law. An international summer school which promotes dialogue for connectivity between and within South Asia and China, which for its second year is themed the Asian Century, Understanding the Geoeconomics and Geopolitics in Asia. This year, we trace our Asian roots. We attempt to understand the direction Asia is headed and conduct discourse on realizing the potential the Asian region holds. Ladies and gentlemen, proceeding with the ceremony, I now request you to stand in your respective seats for our national anthem. Journey of KD. Please give it up for our delegates. Delegates from Bangladesh. Just a second. Oh yeah, okay. Delegates from Bangladesh. Delegates from Bhutan. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Delegates from China. Delegates from India. Delegates from Pakistan. And finally, delegates from home, Nepal. Thank you everyone. I am immensely glad to see the enthusiasm from our guests. Dear delegates, thank you for participating and bringing a part of your respective country to ours. The sight of these flags together is truly beautiful and inspiring. Standing here, witnessing the diversity of our audience and the potential this relationship holds, I cannot help but be a little nostalgic. In line with similar sentiment, the organizing committee has prepared a small video documenting the moments of the first Kathmandu Dialogue and welcoming our succeeding generation. Dear all, we will be presenting the said video for the next 15 minutes. I would like to seek cooperation from our volunteers. Yeah, that has already been done. And make memories with all of you again. So it's going to be debate, sometimes heated debates, a lot of learning, fun learning, and amazing late night mafia session. You'll know what mafia is once we get into the program. And another point, thank you so much for bearing with us during that intense, very hot situation. Kathmandu Dialogue. Honorable Jalnath Khanal, former Prime Minister of Nepal. Please give a big round of applause for our chief guest. Let us now welcome our chair for the opening ceremony. Now please join me in welcoming our guest of honor for the day to their respective seats. Honorable Dr. Govind Prasad Kusum, former member of Public Service Commission. Colonel Vekta Rana Thapa, Registrar of Special Military Corps, Nepal Army. Mr. Ram Saran Pokhrel, Additional Inspector General, Armed Forces, Nepal. Further, I would like to welcome our esteemed professor from Kathmandu School of Law, whose role has been imperative in intellectual stimulation of our students. Please put your hands together for Professor Geeta Pathak. Professor Hongkong Rana. And ladies and gentlemen, Kathmandu Dialogue, as you see it today, would have been impossible without the constant support from our administrative and accounts department. Thus, let us welcome Madam Sudha Kesi and Mr. Harisaran Khatri, administrative heads of Kathmandu School of Law, and Mr. Sriram Satyal, head of account department, Kathmandu School of Law. Further, I invite you all in welcoming our associate professors, Big round Wongchuk School of Law. And our faculty members, staff and students from Kathmandu School of Law who greatly contributed to the realization of Kathmandu Dialogue. A short note, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable T.P. Sharma, the Mayor of Namabuddha Municipality and a constant support and one of the friends and well-wisher of Kathmandu School of Law. He has pledged both moral and... We will now start with our welcome address, for which I would like to invite three brilliant alumni of the Kathmandu Dialogue who have returned to us as our program officers. Mr. Sachin Sivakoti, the President of the Kathmandu Dialogue Alumni Association 2018-2019 from Nepal. Mr. Muhammad Abek, the Kathmandu Dialogue Fellow Award 2018 from India. Please give it up for them. I would like to invite them to the stage for their welcome address.
Guru, my professors, faculty and non-faculty members, delegates, I would like to welcome you to the Kathmandu Dialogue in an informal manner first before getting into the content of substantial welcoming. So I would like to start with the fact that, as Asfandiyar was mentioning in the video, that Kathmandu Dialogue is a feeling to us. The reason that you guys see us here doing this welcome address is because this is a feeling to us. So the feeling, if you could define the feeling, then the feeling would be something that is beyond the exclusive identity rhetoric, and it is something that is close to the inclusively exclusive identity realization, which is same but different in ways. So we would like to endorse that feeling in this program, firstly. Second of all, because of all of the diversities that we have, the program intends to bring a respect, a civilized respect in terms of dialogues and debates, because there will be heated debates amongst you because of the preconceived notions, the biases, and the perceived realities that we carry because of the nations that we belong to, the castes or identities that we are with. So it is certain that there will be clashes. So the entire essence of the program is that we endorse intellectual solidarity, meaning that not the unison of thought, but solidarity in terms of acceptance of all thoughts, hearing of all thoughts. So while we kept the theme, we've always kept it in relation to the Asian values, but it does not mean that we are trying to indoctrinate a value to you guys. It means that we would accept you to challenge the entire notion of the entire theme, because without the open thought or freedom of thought, there would not be a real discourse in itself. So with this is the serious stuff, the value stuff. The entire modality of the program is built in a way that it suits these values, so that each and every participant in each and every seminar or workshop will be provoked to bring out your inner intellectual essence, so that there is a real discourse in it. So you will have a stake in every session that we do. In addition to that, getting into the friendship thing, I am an introvert person myself. I don't speak much, I just walk along. It takes me a lot of time to speak, but I've made incredible friends in them. You can see that. We are still in touch. All of us are alumni. So you will have true friendship here, but not in terms of acceptance of thought again, because we fight in the morning. I was fighting with Ravi sir in the morning for about an hour yesterday evening with regards to the concept of reservation and with regards to the concept of India and Nepal debate. So it does not mean that the difference in thought does not mean that we cannot come together. So the entire idea of this program is to bridge this concept that solidarity means unison of thought, but solidarity means acceptance of thought. So with this, I would like to welcome you to the Kathmandu Dialogue officially. So I would also want them to do the rest of it, because I am generally unprepared about things, so I could speak anything that I want to. So they would compliment me in all my mistakes and everything else. So thank you for the patience for listening to me. Thank you.
Very, very beautifully said. Not unison of thought, but acceptance of thought. That should definitely be one of our mottos. Now, without further ado,
Ni hao, Kuzu Sangpo, if I have spelled it or said it right. Good morning, everyone. dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Before introducing Kathmandu Dialogue, I would like to thank Professor Samrula, Ravi sir, Rubindai, Rakshadi, Mamta, Sachin and the entire team of KSL for making this idea of Kathmandu Dialogue work. Because Kathmandu Dialogue is not just a summer school or a platform for academic discourse. It's much more than that. It's a cultural exchange, a place which compels you to widen the horizon of your thinking. It compels you to understand things from different perspectives, from the Chinese perspective, from the Indian perspective, from Pakistani perspective. You get to know different perspective of different countries, so that and at the end of the day, this helps you to integrate the region, because when you can understand the other person or other person's perspective, then only you can grow together. So it's a place which will help you to make friends for life. Like I've got Afsan Diaris from Pakistan, I'm from India, and we are very good friends. I've got Mamta, Sachin, there's Ojasvi. They have been my friends since my time of KFD. They have been my friends since my day one. So you'll have that kind of friendship, that kind of bonding that helps the very motive of this Kathmandu Dialogue. I would say, based on my experience as the Kathmandu Dialogue acquainted me with the perspective of China and the other countries' perspective, I know a bit of Nepalese, a bit of Chinese, a bit of Bengali. At the end of the day, I believe this, by the end of this program, I'll know a bit of Bhutanese as well. So therefore, I would like to conclude by quoting Rumi, which you can see outside this seminar hall also, that raise your words, not your voice. Develop the understanding of others. It's the rain that grows the flowers, not the thunderstorm. All the best to the future delegates. I hope you'll have a great intellectual discourse throughout this 9 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aditya Pandey. In case you guys have not noticed, he is the fun powerhouse of the group, and he definitely does not know just a little bit of Nepali. He knows a lot of Nepali, so please do not talk in front of him in Nepali if you think that he cannot understand, and so we learned it the hard way. So now introducing calling Muhammad Asfandiar.
Concluded what Kathmandu Dialogue is and what you guys can expect. I would just like to share my story, how I came to Kathmandu Dialogue, how my experience was. It all started in May 2018 when I first attended a conference in Kathmandu. My stay here was only limited to the conference days, so I wanted to come back and experience Nepal. Luckily, I came upon this post on Facebook from one of the Nepali friends, which was the Kathmandu Dialogue. I applied and I got selected and I came here. I was 2 days late, but the way Ravi sir, Mamta and the whole KD team welcomed me was absolutely wonderful. I did not feel for a moment that I was an outsider, because there had been 2 days, people had made friends and they had bonded already. I wasn't a new face to it. But my experience here was out of this world. And that is why I came here for the third time, which a lot of people thought, like, why are you going to Nepal for the third time in like 1 year? Because it only has been 1 year and I have come here 3 times. I'd also like to say that, see, I would just want to wish all the country delegates to respect each other's opinions and accept each other's distinctive identities. And I hope everyone enjoys this KD. I would like to conclude my small speech with 2 of the Urdu verses, which I hope a lot of people will understand. One of it is that it's for the peace in this region. अमन हर शख्स की ज़रूरत है, इसलिए अमन से मोहब्बत है. And Nusrat Mehdi says, फ़िज़ाए अमन व अमा की सदा रखे कायम, फ़िज़ाए अमन व अमा की सदा रखे कायम, सुनो ये फ़र्ज़ तुम्हारा भी है मेरा भी है. Thank you.
Very well said, gentlemen. Delegates, that is Kathmandu Dialogue. Their experience and spirit have reflected the very essence of KD, and you will realize it firsthand in these 9 days to come. I now invite Honorable Dr. Govind Prasad Kusum for his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning and namaskar. Respected Chair, Dr. Professor Dasanola, Right Honorable Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Zain Khanal, Mr. Ram Saran Paudel, EIG, Armed Police Force, Ms. Rana, Colonel Nepal Army, guest speakers, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to Kathmandu School of Law, and especially to Professor Dr. Dasanola for availing me the opportunity to speak a few words. In this important gathering, assembled from various corners of international geography and different walks of life, the Kathmandu Dialogue, an important platform for reeling discourse and debate, sensitizing the thoughts and opinions of different persons to bring new innovative ideas on contemporary issues and challenges related to human rights and international relations, has been introduced by KSL. I offer my sincere thanks to KSL for creating such a useful forum. I am hopeful that the exchange of ideas among participants on given issues will come up with better solutions and suggestions that may be a beautiful ringtone for all concerned authorities and governments as well. In my opinion, there are two schools of thoughts on human rights. One opinion hates the motto of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. That means let all people happy. This motto is a guiding principle of our society of Eastern philosophy. We want development of all. We believe on going together. We believe on working together, and we believe on accepting the rights of every individual to be protected and promoted. We insist on betterment of all. In this context, I would like to draw your kind attention on the saying of John F. Kennedy. He also said, the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are treated. This is what our culture from time immemorial believes, let all be happy. That means no single person be deprived and no individual in a society be discriminated. Second opinion emphasizes on maximum benefit to minimum number. That means forget about all and work for the majority. This thought was brought into practice by Western thinkers. This thought creates the problem. If we give benefit to maximum number, the rest of minimum number is always abated and is left behind to have access in sharing the fruits of socio-economic and political development of a state. In this context, authority sheds light on this particular issue. It underlines that all have equal rights to articles of food and water. The yoke of chariot of life is placed equally on the shoulders of all. All should live together in harmony, supporting one another like the spokes of wheel of chariot connecting its limb and heart. Similarly, Manusmriti says, Yatra Naristu Pujinte Ramante Tatra Devata. That means where women are worshipped, Dear the angel state. It gives glimpse on the importance of women in our society, and they should not be undermined and should be considered as a part and parcel of life without any discrimination. Human rights are associated with all these rights of each and every individual that should be protected from the womb to the tomb. Our society is more sensitive towards this. Human dignity and human rights are necessarily built into the fundamentals of our Nepali culture. From the immemorial, the right of happiness has been taken into consideration as the highest fundamental rights of all humans. Sarve santu niramaya, let all be free from disease. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve bhavantu pasyantu, let all see auspicious things. Ma kasit dukha bhat bhave, let nobody suffer from grief. Vindicate the truth of life and importance of human rights of each individual. Undoubtedly, the present day of artificial intelligence, with high technology, and modern globalization, I do say modern globalization rather than globalization, both have spurred human life with positivity. They have opened new paths of development guided by constructivism. It has changed the mindset of people in terms of economy, trade, industry, infrastructure, health, education, justice, and peace. But simultaneously, certain percentage of old population is still left in remote in terms of being protected their human rights of liberty, freedom, equality, justice, security, and dignity as well. They are being cramped and crushed in conflict-prone countries, poverty-ridden economy, and authoritarian governance. Social intelligence in this context is being the capacity to know oneself and to know others can help to protect and promote human rights. As being non-discriminatory, inalienable, interconnected, and indivisible in its characteristics of international human rights. Couple of questions are always here. Why the poor and marginalized population of many countries in Asia, Africa, Latin America, and other parts as well are still neglected? Why do the children and women in war-torn countries are not getting supportive hands? Why are the people dying with hunger? Why are the slum people dying with disease? Why are the menopause women are dying inside boat in western part of Nepal? These are some pertinent questions to be answered with cool and practical mindset. Human rights should not be taken as a tool to impose their hidden agendas in developing countries by powerful nations. Human rights should not be made as a glass ceiling. I do address again, it should not be made as a glass ceiling to the deprived people. Human rights should not be exchanged with the cost of our culture, custom, and precedents. As a matter of fact, nothing is free from contemporary evaluations. Our system is no exception. Media boasters of history and its interpretations, the cultural system, present essential component of our system to achieve peaceful coexistence rather than aggressive action. Cooperation rather than unhealthy competition. Last but not the least, we need to protect and promote human rights, not abolishing the culture of our society, rather unleashing its values, norms, and ethics. I wish the success of this important program organized in such a beautiful place. Thank you all. Enjoy.
We highly appreciate your informative and supportive words. His remarks in drawing parallels between the values, between the history that we have and the theme, the core of Kathmandu dialogue, were highly inspiring. And thank you also for addressing the pressing issues of today's society. Now, I would like to request our audience to join me in welcoming Colonel Vyaktarana for her speech. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
Former Prime Minister, Dr. Govind Prasad Kusu, former member of the Public Service Commission, AIG Ram Saran Powder, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangona, participants of the Kathmandu Dialogue 2019, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to give my appreciation to Kathmandu School of Law for giving Nepali Army an opportunity to be part of this program. Indeed, it's an honor to us. As per request of the organizer, I will be highlighting the contribution of Nepali Army in UN. The concept of peacekeeping mission emerged from the concept of collective security founded in the concept of collective defense that seeks to form alliance against any state which commences as an act of aggression. Nepal has always given importance to an independent policy based on the character of the United Nations, non-alignment, principle of pungency, international law, and the norms of world peace, taking into consideration of the overall interests of the nation while remaining active in safeguarding the sovereignty, territory, integrity, independence, and national interests of Nepal. New constitution also gives this as a higher priority and places it in most of the constitution, including the new constitution. To utilize the peacekeeping participation as a tool, Army's peacekeeping efforts with the country's foreign policy objectives was adopted to foreign policy. This approach produced a synergic outcome by effectively utilizing the Nepal Army's peacekeeping participation to search for Nepal's space in international forums. Nepal became a member of the United Nations in 1955 and since then has been an active participant of most UN peacekeeping operations. The participation of the Nepali Army in UN peace support operations spans a period of over a half century, covering some 43 UN missions, in which over 1,026,494 personnel have participated. The Army's long association with UN peace support operation begins with a modest development of 5 military observers in Lebanon in 1958. The first Nepali contingent, Purano Gorak Battalion, was deployed in Egypt in 1974. The Nepali Army has contributed in senior appointments of UNDPKO and force headquarters and has also deployed military contingents, military observers, and staff officers. The Army has also contributed significantly through the provision of its capabilities, such as engineers, medical teams, and special force contingents. Their devotion to duty and excellent performance has been widely acclaimed. The Nepali Army has always accepted challenges and participated in most difficult operations. This has had a heavy toll of its personnel, and to date, 64 personnel have made the ultimate sacrifice at the altar of world peace, and another 66 have been disabled. As of 23rd June 2019, the Nepali Army has deployed across 13 missions around the world. As a troop contributing country, Nepal ranks 5th in the world. Currently, Nepali Army has some 5,063 soldiers, including 203 female soldiers, serving in 13 different missions around the globe. Soldiers are accepted to maintain the discipline during their deployment in UN mission and has a zero-tolerance policy over the misconduct done while deployed. Staff judge advocates and national investigation officers are deployed in various sectors from contingent to staff officers as a headquarters, at conduct and discipline unit to the board of inquiry units. The incident is taken as a higher priority and if found guilty by the court will be reported immediately and will be bonded for further UN deployment as an additional punishment to other sentences. Up till date, 24 personnel has been court-martialed on the charges of misconduct done during the deployment. Lastly, I would like to wish all the success of the program and enjoyable stay in Nepal to foreign participants. Thank you.
Ma'am, it is definitely a matter of pride to learn the workings of your country in maintaining world peace. And I have to say, it is definitely also a matter of pride to see such a prominent women figure in the area of military, which is considered to be a male-dominant profession. Now, without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Ramsaran Paudel for his remarks.
Good afternoon. Chief guest of this program, Right Honorable former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jamnath Khanal. Chairperson of the program, Executive Director of Kathmandu School of Law, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangraula. Special guest, Dr. Govinda Prasad Kusum, the former member of Public Service Commission and Home Secretary. Colonel Evita Rana Thapa, Register of Special Military Court. Professor Geeta Pathak and all professors present here. Officials from Kathmandu School of Law. All participants from different countries. First of all, it is my honor and great pleasure to be here with you today as a guest of honor in this opening ceremony of the Kathmandu Dialogue. And I am really grateful for the warmest invitation here in this program. Armed Police Force, Nepal and Kathmandu School of Law were established at around same time and have been working together since our establishment. And Kathmandu School of Law is organizing different capacity building courses for Armed Police Force personnel. Armed Police Force Nepal, one of the law enforcement agency of Nepal, established in 2002 AD, also proactively participating and conducting training on human rights and humanitarian law. Collaboration with Kathmandu School of Law in this subject is always fruitful to us. Counter-terrorism and insurgency, border security, disaster management, controlling heinous crimes, right and mob management, industrial, revenue and customs security are the main mandates of Armed Police Force Nepal. Protection, promotion and respect of human rights are prime concern of Armed Police Force Nepal while performing the duties in given mandates. Armed Police Force Nepal has implemented zero tolerance policy on corruption, human rights violation and gender-based violation. APF is always committed to incorporate the human rights standard in every action, different programs and seminars with coordination with Kathmandu School of Law reflect that this organization is always upgrading its human resources. I would also like to thank Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangraula for providing such a meaningful platform for students who represent themselves in national, regional and international programs in the days to come. The extensive discussion, planning and debates in KSL and session on international politics and economics, Asian philosophy and logic, politics and language, regional organizations and mechanisms definitely qualify your knowledge and help to understand regional and international mechanism and international law. Dear participants, you are lucky enough to participate in this global event where you can discuss, debates and find the solution for the international issue and develop mutual cooperation among the participants of diverse background of nationality, culture and language. So I heard that this year participants of this Kathmandu dialogue shall also have opportunity to present paper at the international conference organized by the Asian Association of Law Professors, and I believe it is the great opportunity for the participants. The Kathmandu School of Law Outreach Campus will flourish your knowledge on this special, temporal and political aspect of economics and resources, geography, and politics and international relations in the Asia and beyond. Lastly, on behalf of Armed Police Force, Nepal, I would like to thank Kathmandu School of Law for their commitment for the protection and promotion of human rights. It is quite omni that the Kathmandu School of Law has greater role in the area of human rights protection and their activities in the field of human rights and quite praiseworthy. Armed Police Force is always ready for coordination in the field of human rights protection. We expect continued coordination and cooperation in the days to come. Once again, I would like to thank the organizer for providing me such great opportunity and wonderful forum. Having said this, let me conclude my brief address here with a wish for training success and pleasant stay of our guests. Dear participants, enjoy course and enjoy the natural beauty of this Nava Buddha Kavre, Nepal. Thank you.
Support. As a token of respect to our speakers from Nepal Army and Armed Police Force, something that I did even in the first Kathmandu dialogue, saying that I could not do it in proper military way still. Jai Nepal, sir. Now, furthering our program, please join me in welcoming our Honorable Chief Guest for his address. Please put your hands together for Honorable Chief.
Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangraula, Honorable Dr. Govinda Prasad Kusul, Colonel E.V. Tarana Thapa, AIG Mr. Ram Saran Paudel, Professor Geeta Pathak, Professor Ankang Raina, Professor Kumar Ingnam, and all dear friends, sisters and brothers. I am extremely delighted to address the inauguration of the second Kathmandu Dialogue 2019 International Summer School on the theme of the 18th century, understanding geoeconomics and geopolitics in Asia. Firstly, I warmly welcome you all of the same. Most importantly, I, on behalf of the 3 crore people of Nepal, would like to welcome the resource persons and delegates of the program from Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Pakistan, and Nepal. I hope the delegates joining us from abroad shall have the splendor of Nepal, its natural beauty, the Himalayas, diversity, culture, and many more. On this day, seeing you all, I recall our ancient ethos of universal brotherhood, which has also been expressed in the famous Sanskrit phrase, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I have been informed that Kathmandu School of Law launched the International Summary School only last year and has received tremendous recognition and support throughout the world. I am told that this year more than 150 applications were received from over 80 countries. The Kathmandu Dialogue provides a common platform for national as well as international delegates from various countries to discuss, deliberate, and debate on common issues of concern. That is why I thought that this was an appropriate forum to share my views on this interesting but challenging theme of the summer school, the 18th century, understanding geoeconomics and geopolitics in Asia. It is important for us in Asia to realize our strengths and come together for a shared and prosperous future for all. Asia is diverse and diversity brings challenges, and challenges leads to commonalities for dialogue and cooperation among nations. We should capitalize on our cultural connectivity and work together for development of the region as a whole, rather than geopolitical strategies. We should work together geo-economic unity. At the outset, I wish to extend my deep appreciation to the Kathmandu School of Law for their efforts in organizing a program that connects the youth from around the world and engage them in a dialogue highlighting our common grounds and common concerns. I must commend KSL for its immense contribution as a center of learning, research, intellectual dialogue of national and international level, and promoting the culture of understanding, tolerance, unity, and universal accountability towards nature and mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, Nepal is a developing country, and as I speak today, I am proud to say that Nepal now is on the steady path of development and stability. The dream of having a constitution authored by the Nepalese people through Constituent Assembly came true in Nepal, with the present constitution promulgated on September 20, 2015. The Constitution of Nepal 2015 is the 7th Constitution of Nepal. The Constituent Assembly accomplished the historic task after an unremitting effort lasting for 8 years. With the promulgation of the new constitution, Nepal was structurally transformed into the Federal Democratic Republic, and the elections held in the recent past formally erected the institutional and the structural framework of the federal system of government in the country. Armored with the new constitution, laws and government structure, Nepal is now steadily progressing on the path of development. As I stand before this audience, a blend of varied nationalities, I am reminded of the utmost potential which this regional relationship holds. In this blend of diverse culture, religion, and language, there lies a great prospect for economic, social, and environmental development for all. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel much honored to be a part of the Asia that has been the land where greatest of human civilization flourished and guided the human across the path of innovation and evolution. It is our Asia which has been the land of great philosophers, land of truth seekers, land which showed the world the light of peace, the avenue of wisdom, the path of virtue and merit. Our ancestors guided the world through the practice of innovation and evolution. They were innovative, visionary, and we have leaders whose legacy is a success. Their efforts were unremitting, untiring, their commitments resolute, and their leadership exemplary. Their determination for the prosperous and developed Asia was unimaginable. Now the responsibility lies on us to ensure that dream of our ancestors to make Asia developed and prosperous is realized. We all must be aware of the fact that in recent years, South Asia has emerged as a focus of economic dynamism, a growth pole, but on the other side, South Asia remains the last economically integrated region. It is mired in poverty, illiteracy, and backwardness. This contradiction must be brought to an end by transforming the development landscape of the region. And dear students, it can only be possible through our collective commitments, determination, and concerted actions to transform this development. With this note, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Yuvraj Chandrola for your untiring efforts to address issues of national and international interest, and the entire KSL fraternity for inviting me and as well as providing me this opportunity to share my thoughts and concerns on behalf of my country with all these young and enthusiastic youths and future leaders from around the world. I wish KSL, the organizers, resource persons, and participants all success in the Kathmandu Dialogue 2019. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause for our teachers. Now, every time in my briefing for MC, Professor Sangrola strictly asks me not to praise him. But every time he awes us all with his words, so it is inevitable that I would. So, however, this time I won't say much. So now as a last address for the ceremony, which is also the opening remark for the Kathmandu Dialogue program, I would like to invite the man behind the Kathmandu Dialogue, the godfather of the KD, the Executive Director and Principal of Kathmandu School of Law, Professor Dr. Yuvraj
Khanal, former Prime Minister of Nepal and member of House of Representatives. Right now, Honorable Govinda Kushu, former member of the Public Service Commission of Nepal and also the Secretary of Home Affairs. Abiyata Rana Thapa, Registrar, Special Military Court, Nepal Army, also Colonel, and AIZP, Ramsaran Border, Nepal Armed Police, colleagues from Bhutan and India who already have been able to join with us. Also colleagues from Kathmandu School of Law and student from different countries. Yeah, I'm a professor of law, therefore it always sounds to be good to share to the professor of professor, not many iterations. So that's why it's very good saying in China, 我是你的老师. So that's good thing. In China, like 老师 is very much appreciated. So I'm also your teacher in residential school. I was not teacher until this morning, so therefore there was a lot of noise. I will be teacher from this evening, therefore there will not be noise from tomorrow. Anyway, first of all I would like to thank former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jalnath Khanal, for finding time to come. It's almost 40 kilometers from Kathmandu. This morning I also requested, I think this is second time you have been here. So from the third time you should not come. Only is a former Prime Minister, but you should also patronize this program. Now you should be the patron of Kathmandu Island. Because these kind of programs are very unique. And we have no hesitation to share that. This is only center program that Asia, South Asia and China need to work with. Is this. So youths have been coming from South Asia and China. Though China still has not been able to take much interest about it. We receive a lot of invitation. In the end, there are only 2, 3, or 1 is 2. We need to share China. Ultimately, it is South Asia is a good friend to you, not America. So please join with us to develop a better Asia. China should see in Asia more than in America and Europe. So that's what I told to a lot of my friends. Also, I told to other dignitaries that China should focus having very deep bilateral and multilateral discourse at the level of teachers, at the level of students, at the level of employees, at the level of politicians, And therefore, the culture and civilization that we flourish together in the past will be much more flourished in the days to come, because its culture in China is largely influenced by one very important religion called, rather I say philosophy, Buddhism, which traveled to China 2000 years before. And a latest exploration in Nepal, in Patan, it is found that there were 2 Chinese scholars been to Nepal 200 years before the 1st century. That means they have been here 2200 years. From 6th century, China and Nepal and China and India shared number of delegations. From 640 to 13th century, Nepal had almost 13 missions to go to China and 7 missions from China to come to Nepal. So this is a very deepened relation, China and South Asia. And a lot of people who brought Buddhism to China came to Nepal, went to India, and therefore its society has been largely influenced by Buddhism today. It's a product of South Asia. So in the past, South Asia contributed to the development of China. It means that in future also, South Asia will contribute to the development of China. But we need China to work with us. So that is how, in the days to come, China should seriously focus on participating with more youth in this kind of program. Bhutan has been very generous with the new law school established, very promising new law school. Jigme Singh Wangchuk Law School started 3 years before, teaching LLB course. And I think this is 3rd year they have been running. Very promising teachers they have. The king himself has a very nice placing to the college. A number of my friends are also there. Bhutan and Nepal share a very good culture for the last many hundred years. We even speak the language of each other. It was difficult in the past to travel because it's a long way, but now there is a flight between Paro and Kathmandu, so we can fly. Only last time we were disturbed, it's too much snow in Paro. Faculties could not visit. Hopefully next year there will not be snow in the next program. India and Nepal share a lot of good things. I often say, we share philosophy, we share a lot of things, but then why say we share only roti beti? So if we stop saying that roti beti, then we share a lot of things. So it's not only roti beti. Countless of other things that we share. And we have been working together for last many years. So we have a floods here. India suffers. And if there are deaths in India, we feel bad. We feel pain. There is an earthquake here, then India feels pain. So we have been attached. Bangladesh also affected by us. Melting snow, the development and destruction of forest by the new development paradigm now. Swell is going to Bay of Bengal, and the sea is rising up to bring more water inside on the lane of Bangladesh, so we should work together. Pakistan is a very good friend of Nepal for many years. I don't know why Pakistan stopped flight to from Karachi to Kathmandu, from Islamabad to Kathmandu, so that they have to fly from Qatar to Kathmandu. Last time I had a very serious talk with the senior leaders in Pakistan. Why did you stop PIA, Pakistan International Airlines? The answer was that we don't have much fleets to fly to Kathmandu. Then we said, why don't you request my government? We have a lot of fleets now. We can fly from Nepal to Karachi, Kathmandu to Karachi. So this, especially I reminded when former Prime Minister Jalal Khanal is also there. He is also a good friend of a lot of Pakistani people. If you invite sometime our leaders, they will have to fly from Qatar to Islamabad again. Probably they will initiate flights from Kathmandu to Nepal. If Pakistan flight cannot fly over Indian zone and come to Kathmandu, Nepal plane can fly and go to Pakistan. So there is a connection that how we can establish. Bangladesh, we were the first country to recognize you. Though it's not very good to share in front of Pakistani friends. But Pakistan now realizes that it was not possible to rule in Bangladesh from Islamabad. So Bangladesh is doing good, the economy is doing good, you're doing good. So we are family now, therefore South Asia is integrated in geography. But South Asia is not integrated in economy. South Asia is not integrated in language. South Asia is not integrated in communication. South Asia is not integrated in knowledge development. And South Asia is also not integrated in strengthening democracy. So the first thing, if South Asia has to develop, the first thing is that we have to integrate ourselves. We have to integrate by road, we have to integrate by economy, we have to integrate by politics, democracy, we have to integrate by knowledge. And probably with this South Asia, it would be very good for China to work together. It's very difficult for Chinese. My colleagues, when I go to China, they talk about, if they come to Nepal to work, India would not be happy. If they go to Pakistan to work, India would not be happy and Afghanistan would not be happy. If they go to India to work, then we will be unhappy. If they go to Sri Lanka to work, India is unhappy. If they come to work in India, Sri Lanka would be unhappy. So integrated South Asia, integrated economy, integrated political phenomenon here might bring China with its huge economy, and together South Asia and China, we will be the hub of economy in Asia. And therefore Asia will revive its pride it had by 1830. If you know, in 1830, China represented 14.7% of the world's GDP that time, and India represented 13.5% of the world's GDP. But today, what is the situation? It's opposite. 1947, when India freed from colony, its contribution in the world's GDP was 4%. And the Chinese contribution in the world GDP was 5%. You can imagine how much we were looted by then. How much money was taken. And Niti Aayog from India, a very good professor, I know her very well, 6-7 months before published a report, and she said that 45 trillion pound was taken by United Kingdom in the form of tax from India in the last 200 years. And had India that 45 today, Asia would have been different. But besides that, altogether, invisible looting, the diamond, the pearls, the gold, and the labor of Indian people, and all this lagan and everything together, the total money British took from India was 163 trillion. You can imagine China not looting, opium introduced as a habit of the people. 3 wars of opium against opium to eliminate it, and economy destroyed. So today, we are emerging, we are rising. But we still have a problem. The coolness has not still gone to warm up. The question therefore is like, how can we warm up the relation between South Asia and China? and how can we warm up the relation between different South Asian countries themselves. Bangladesh, this time they invited me to give a very prestigious lecture in Chittagong University, who was an industrialist, Osho George, and a very prominent people. So we had a very informal talk in Chittagong and also in Dhaka. When we were in blockade, we did request a lot of things to you. We were asking medicine, because medicines were not coming from India, and children were being died that time. Cancer patients were not getting medicine. It was really tough time. The Bhutan Prime Minister, early in the morning next day, there was an earthquake, came with 23 crores of rupees as a gift to Nepal, a small country. Doing very good in economy, but still, there's a small population. But Bangladesh, you were not responding to us. They became a little bit shocked to listen to a very arrogant question that I was making, because I visited Bangladesh 59 times, and I have more students in Bangladesh than in Nepal. So I said, this is my second home, therefore I have a right to talk like this. Then finally, there was what they said is like they were afraid of India. Why? Why they should be afraid of India? Because we were discussing still with India. And finally, India realized that that was the biggest mistake in the history it made. And India made this mistake by listening to wrong people. But we were so happy. Thousands of people in India were voicing against the government that what you have been doing is wrong. Open the border as soon as possible. And one fine morning, hundreds of thousands of people from all the part of India came to Nepal to destroy those blockades, those people who were putting blockades. So Indians were very generous. So I got a call from Delhi that time. If you can find a businessman to come to Delhi to file a case in the Supreme Court, we will finish it within 2 days. This cannot go, this is inhuman, this will show. Government was making mistake, but Indian people were with us. So this program, why I gave you all this information straight this time. My dear friends, faculties and students, it is for you to believe that if you continue this kind of situation in South Asia, you will not. We will be left behind. So if we do not still tend to integrate our economy together, and we try to integrate with China's economy, then Gulf economy, and then South Asian economy, we will remain behind. So this is therefore a beginning. Maybe we made a mistake. My generation made a mistake, because my generation criticizes things it doesn't create. It opposes everything, supports nothing. But it supports everything, opposes nothing. So it's a visionless generation that I have. But this visionless generation is trying to create vision in your mind. Bringing you here in Kathmandu, discuss, think, respect your border, respect your system, respect your territory, respect your own culture, but then work together to the larger community of South Asia, and then join yourselves with China's economy, South Asian economy, and the Arabian economy to make a new beginning of the world. Because we never practiced colony. We never practiced colony. Yes, there were attacks, and there were takeover. But right after the attacks, when countries were taken by another country, the citizens of that country were treated exactly like the mother country. So they were not colonized. But here, we suffered from colony. Bhutan and Nepal didn't have a chance to be directly ruled by colony. But then we were equally destroyed too. So this is a time to change. This is a time to change. It's not a question of big country and a small country. It's not a question of big population and a small population. Jokingly, 5-6 years before, in Indian National Defense Institute, I was asked to give a lecture. And then my moderator, to praise me a lot, said that we have a very good friend from Nepal, Professor Sangraula, from a very small country, our brotherly state, a brotherly kingdom, something like that. It was very good praise, very good honor. But then I counted that in 3 minutes introduction of mine, he said more than 10 times, Nepal is a small country. 3 times it pleased me. And 10 times it made me a little bit to laugh. And I went to the podium in front of me. They were very nice to Sardarji sitting. So I addressed the Hindi Sardarji, ek baat puche. He said that, पूछो जी. तो मैंने उनको कहा कि अगर हम दिल्ली से पैदल चल के कन्याकुमारी चलें, तो कितने दिन लग जाएगा? He said like 2 महीने तो जरूर लगेगा ना जी. तो मैंने कहा अगर कंचनजंगा से बैतडी आप चले तो 1 वर्ष लगेगा, 1 साल लगेगा. तो by walk Nepal is bigger than India. If you walk, Nepal takes 2 years to walk down. Bhutan takes almost 6 months. Then Bhutan and Nepal are bigger to India from that side. So big and small is not an issue. The question is, we have a territorial political boundary, but we are human beings. We have our system. We have our economy, and we have our own different conscience and crises. We should respect them, and we should work together. So we are not big. We are not small. We are not super. We are not subordinated. We are South Asian. So we have started therefore saying, let's start thinking at 2 paradigms, at 2 levels. In the beginning, we can think that we are Nepalese, Bhutanese, Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan. But at the higher level, we're South Asian because all river flows to the sea from this region. This represents a unique civilization. 3 fundamental important civilizations in the later part added 1 more, therefore 4 important civilization. Buddhist civilization, Vedic Sanatan civilization, Kathmandu civilization, and in the later part also Islamic civilization. So this part of the world, not just for very important civilization or very few civilization. So why we are not proud of that? Why we are fighting? So young generation needs to therefore delve into it. So you have to stop coming at least in this particular place. You should stop seeing yourself as national. Start please thinking you're a citizen of this region. Going back to your country, you can think the national of your country, but you have to promote the regional interest. Therefore, when you become Prime Minister in the days to come, when you become Chief Justice, when you become Attorney General, when you become Home Secretary, when you become Colonel, and you become the Chief of the Police, I think you will have no inhibition to sit together and discuss. Okay? Sure. Like Krishna Pandey makes a song about Chinese Belt and Road. Okay? Chinese government should know that there are Indian lawyers who have been making song about OBOR. Okay? And there was a Chinese participant 2 years before staying with an Indian man, and he was singing an Indian song. Bhutanese, Nepalese boys, they always want the Bhutanese girls to come and stay in Nepal. This is a kind of thing. And Nepalese girls, my God, last year. No Bhutanese boy, I had to guard. Nepalese girls wanted to go to Bhutan. This integration is unique in the world. It's not an integration between USA and Canada. This integration is unique. This integration is not between Korea and China. This integration is not unique between Czech and Slovakia. But this integration is only in South. We're so close. But we are not exploiting the most important wealth that we have. So it's the reason that we invite people from security, politics, bureaucracy, and invite a lot of experts from Pakistan, India, China, Nepal, and we delve into these issues so that a new platform can be created in the days to come to think. So hopefully, after 20 years, Kathmandu Dialogue will be a platform not only to discuss on certain issue, but this platform would be a platform to be participated by very senior leaders of this region to listen what the young generation says. A lot of effort needs to put this program. My daughter came from America and I don't have time to see. Anyway, she has come back, so we will see after this. I have not stayed at home for a long time. I've been staying here. And then a lot of people have been participating. A lot of teachers have been participating. A lot of teachers have been participating. Bringing these 40 people here and make this arrangement needs another 100 people to work behind. So, I hope that you have been allowed to make selfie, but you have not been invited here for the selfie. You have been invited here to become the representative of South Asia and make South Asia a good country in the days to come. So, you will be studying very hard. Professors are very nasty. Very, very, what you can say, very angry professor, you can say. They are very good if you want, but a professor like Mizanur Rahman and other like Professor Sangrola himself is a very angry professor, you know. So we request you to put your whole time for this, learn a lot. So a lot of KSL teachers will also be coming. With these words, I would like to end here with big thanks to Right Honorable former Prime Minister Jagannath Khanal. 5 days before I told that probably I will not be able to come, my knees is not working. Maybe he thought that I feel bad. So day before yesterday I got called, okay, I will come. Because this is a very difficult place for to go up. But next year, I think we will make everything fine. So the place should not be taken as an hindrance for you being patron. We will make things better next year. Thank you, Govinda sir. We have been together for a long time. We have been working together, gossiping together, suffering together, also enjoying together. When I was Attorney General, Dr. Kushum was the Home Secretary. Fortunately, we have been able to share Right Honorable Jagannath Khanal as Prime Minister. So we have 3 people from the same government today. It's nice. Armed police force is really very helpful to KSL. We have been definitely putting a lot of our resources. We have been contributing to train them. We have been, I think Ramcharanji was here also, last training, where we trained 35 very senior officials on criminal justice, human rights, and security issues. Nepal military is very kind enough for all the time. We have number of very senior staff now who got educated from Kathmandu School of Law. The chief, Ratna Prakash Thapa himself, was the student of Kathmandu School of Law now. Major General, Adjutant Judge Advocate, or in Nepal it is called Judge Advocate General. He's in the position. So we have a very sound relation. And two institutions, their staff college over there, also invite us, and this time they have been very keen to take us to make a visit in the staff college in what is the place? Sivapuri. But maybe we will not be able, because this is quite rainy. But next time we will definitely do. With support of these all, we have been able to do this program. Most importantly, what I need to say, like in Nepal, there is no innovation and doubt of people to the police, to the military, to the armed police force. We work together. So they are very friendly. They are very apologetic to the mistakes sometimes they made. Colonel Rana was there for shame that there was a military actions against some officers. But these are very open institutions. People can visit. We have a right to be angry sometimes. We go to very close to the military office and say that you are bad, but they don't fire on us. So they talk about human rights. So academic institution, particularly Kathmandu School of Law and security agency, maintain a very good collaborative cooperation. Therefore, we contribute how to make them better practice human rights, and they teach us how to be more strong in security discussions and all that kind of things. So for you coming, and finally my colleague from India and Pakistan, India and Bhutan, and all the students, finally teachers. It's difficult to come from there definitely, but sometimes my colleagues so little bit reluctant to come, but we should do it. When we become a mother, we have to rear a child. So this is our responsibility. Ravi has done a great work. He has been working hard, and program officers, except sometimes they make a big noise, otherwise they are very fine. They have done hard work too. So I thank everyone, and start this board. The program has kicked up today, so we have seat on the board. So we will sail now. You have very good captains, they will sail to the right direction. But if you make a lot of noises and jump in the boat, capsize might take place. So if you cooperate sitting with full of discipline, backside, and then starting high, captain will take you. Otherwise, if captain become angry, boat may capsize. So hopefully you will take this suggestion. Thank you very much. So with this, I think this program has opening session has come to an end. So we have a lunch. So I request all of you to join the lunch. Make a lot of photo. My student from Bangladesh, I said my student, okay? They are very fond of making photo. So you have a former Prime Minister also available to make a photo. Okay? So we can enjoy. Thank you very much.